Today, I'm going to talk all about or explore, can genetics play a role in irritable bowel syndrome? So first, I'm going to uncover about what actually is the research saying. Now, studies have found that IBS actually runs in families, therefore suggesting that there is a genetic predisposition to having IBS. And researchers have actually uncovered certain genes, such as serotonin transport, which affects our gut motility and also sensitivity. They've also uncovered a gene variation to our immune response, giving way to how our gut is influenced with inflammation. And lastly, the barrier connection, finding genes that may actually contribute to leaky gut or gut permeability. Hi, and welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into gut health and natural ways to help you feeling better. Now, before we get going, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, where you'll be notified of all of our upcoming videos. And I'm going to link our free guide down below, which is 5 ways to improve your gut health, so you can do a little extra reading on the side. Now, today's topic is a fun one, all about IBS. And IBS affects millions of people. IBS is irritable bowel syndrome. And if you have struggled with this or continue to struggle with it, you're probably having the symptoms of bloating, gas, abdominal pain, even constipation or diarrhea. Now, what's interesting is that for years, IBS has really been thought to been a trigger due to foods, stress, and even gut infections. But in recent years, there's new research to kind of pinpoint that maybe your genes have also a part to play in irritable bowel syndrome. Now, before we go any further, my name is Marcy Vasky. I'm a functional licensed nutritionist with Oswald Digestive Clinic. And of course, at Oswald Digestive Clinic, we see a lot of people who struggle with IBS. Now, with the familiar hereditary, we see that IBS does tend to run in families. And if you struggle with IBS and you take a look back at different generations, or maybe your mom or your grandma or your father or whatnot, you may find someone who also has some gut issues or even IBS. There was a study done about adoptees and found that adoptive kids who were living obviously with parents that did not have IBS but came from a family that did have IBS had a higher risk of also struggling with irritable bowel syndrome. So therefore, this does connect that genetic component. And in that same study, they found that people who have this genetic component are actually 20 times higher or 20 times more at risk of struggling with IBS in their lifetime. Now, there's also an overlap or correlation to our mental health or the gut-brain axis. So this consistent evidence shows that those who struggle with anxiety or depression also have the same traits or genes that can increase the possibility of IBS. So overall, there is this genetic component, and also that there is a gut-brain axis component, showing that those who may end up with IBS or have a genetic component of it do have a higher risk. However, you're not always going to get IBS, because ultimately diet and lifestyle are really the ones running the show. So let's talk a little bit about the role of epigenetics. So even if you have a genetic predisposition to IBS, that doesn't mean you're going to have IBS. And this is where epigenetics come in. This is how our diet, our sleep, our stress can turn on the gene or have the ability to keep the gene turned off. So just knowing this information is how we can help keep our gut as healthy as possible. So if you're someone who's struggling with IBS or any other gut issues, I'm going to link our website down below where you can easily make an initial appointment. And with our guidance, we can help you walk the journey of your gut health, helping you to get to the goals and get rid of some of those symptoms that really plague you day to day. So now that we know that IBS has a genetic component, but we also have epigenetics involved, meaning that we can turn it on or off given what our lifestyle is like and what we put in our mouth. The question that I want to answer now is, what can you do to keep your genes calm? And number one on the list, and I'm sure you've guessed it already, is your nutrition. So making sure that you're really eating those whole, real foods, plenty of good protein, healthy carbohydrates, and healthy fats. That's going to keep your microbiome be more diverse and keeping your gut a lot healthier, keeping those triggers to keeping that gene quieter. Another one is also, thinking about taking probiotics. This isn't absolutely necessary, and I am more of a proponent for eating fermented foods. Things like sauerkraut, kimchi, miso. Those things can give you a lot of great probiotic and good flora without even taking a capsule every day. And the last two on the list are 100% something I talk about in every single video I do. Number one is going to be reducing stress. Stress is such a trigger for many, many symptoms that we have in our body, and it can really take a toll on our gut. And the last one will be getting plenty of rest. And sleep sometimes for some people feels pretty elusive. But if you prioritize your sleep as much as possible, getting the 7 to 9 hours a night that are going to keep your body at its tip-top function will help keep those genes turned off. So I think it's really cool that we can have a lot of these genes just passed down to us. Number one, we all know that. We can see it in our family line. But what's most fun is that sometimes you have a lot of control about how those genes are expressed. And learning more about yourself, you can really stay at your healthiest. So to sum it up, just make sure you're eating a whole real food diet. Keep stress as low as you can, or find stress relieving activities, whether it's meditation, whether it's going for a walk, or simply sitting quietly in a chair for 15 minutes. And also making sure you're getting enough sleep. So I hope this video helped you answer a few questions that might be lingering in the back of your mind if you're struggling with IBS, or if you see other people in your family struggling with IBS. Now you know that you can take power and control over it as much as possible with your diet, your lifestyle, and your sleep. And so I think that this gives us a little bit of empowerment when it comes to our gut health. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.